Good morning, afternoon, or evening, y'all. My name is Shannon, and today we are going to be going over all of the books that are on my physical TBR. I went back to the video I did of this about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago now, and I had 536 books on my physical TBR at the end of that video, and I'm very concerned. I do not think that it will be that high. I've read a lot of books in that time. I've gotten rid of a lot of books in that time. I actually just made a video where I unhauled some books. And so I'm really hoping it's not that high, but we are going to be counting and going over every single book on my physical TBR. So we're just going to get started because I have a feeling this is going to be a relatively long video. Okay. All the books up here I haven't read. It is 135 books, which not great, but not horrible. I mean, there are a whole bunch more books downstairs, so we have to count. But before we go downstairs, let me tell you guys about these books that I haven't read. We have Empire Storms, Tower of Dawn, Circe by Madeline Miller, Kingdom of Ash, Small Favors by Aaron A. Craig, The Gilded Ones, The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy, The Curse of Saints, The Witch Haven, Hotel Magnifique, The Silvered Serpents, The Gilded Wolves, The Grimrose Girls, Red Rising, Piranesi, The House of Mr. William C., Meet Me at the Lake, If Only I Had Told Her and If Only He Had Been With Me, The Unabridged Journals of Sylvia Plath, and The City We Became. And then behind that we have The Book Eaters, Threads That Bind, The Darkening, The Lightening, The Fragile Threads of Power, Moby Dick, Little Women, The Iliad, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Mirror Girls, Stars Above, and Ferris. And then here we have Misfit, How to Kill Your Family, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Daughter of the Pirate King, Queen of Shadows, Jane Eyre, Northanger Abbey, Sense and Sensibility, Mansfield Park, Grimm's Fairy Tales, The Magician's Daughter. I'm not going to count the poetry books, actually. Tales from Hinterland, The Friend Zone, The No-Show, One Italian Summer, Nettle and Bone, The Last Letter, 99% Mine, Drunk on Love, The Thorns Remain, A Little Life, Wild and Wicked Things, All of Our Hidden Gifts, and the Mindfuck series. And behind that, we have The Legacy, Forever Never, Love Redesigned, King of Wrath, King of Pride, King of Greed, and King of Sloth, You Again, Maggie Moves On, Mr. Fixer-Upper, Spanish Love Deception, and The American Roommate Experiment. So after literally just going through these books again, I actually have read a couple of these books, so it's actually 131 books up here. Okay, now let's talk about these books. We have Manslaughter Park, Sense and Second Degree Murder, Pride and Premeditation, The Midnight Library, My Murder, The Chain, The Housemaid's Secret, Business or Pleasure, The X-Talk, One True Loves, The Proposal, The Unhoneymooners, The Night Country, The Hazelwood, Dune, Survive the Night, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, Ariadne, The Stardust Thief, The Bone Season, Crescent City 2 and Crescent City 3, Wilderness of Stars, It's One of Us, Local Woman Missing, Rock, Paper, Scissors, The Other Mothers, The Resemblance, Billy Summers, The House Across the Lake, Killers of a Certain Age, Iona Iverson's Rules for Commuting, Hidden Pictures, Stay Awake, What Lies in the Woods, The Lifeguards, The Housemaid, The Husbands, The Hunting Party, The Murder of Mr. Wickham, Final Offer, Terms and Conditions, The Fine Print, Fahrenheit 451, Demon Copperhead, Electra, and then we have Falling for Gage, The Kiss Quotient, and The Simple Wild. That was a mouthful. Now, some of these books I have second copies of downstairs, such as the new Throne of Glass covers and the Barnes & Noble exclusive editions of Crescent City. So we'll have to see how that goes. I'm definitely not going to count them twice because they're the same book. Okay, now that we've gone through that, we're going to go down the stairs, and I need to remember the number 131 so I don't forget. Okay, we are now in front of my book storage in the living room and right next to my desk space. Most of these books I haven't read, but some of them I have. I actually have a video where I redid this shelf and the shelves back in our bedroom because I wanted them to kind of feel a little bit more like I feel as a reader right now. Anywho, I'm gonna get counting and then we can go over all the books. Okay, this is not nearly as many books. It is only 67 down here, although there are definitely more in our bedroom. That is primarily a TBR shelf. But let me move this so you guys can see. We have A Very Typical Family, Rent Braid, really good actually, Alone with You in the Ether, Sweet Sorrow, Weather Girl, 7 Days in June, Malibu Rising, and The Paper Palace. Then down here we have Chain of Gold, The Poison Season, In a Garden Burning Gold, City of Brass, Iron Widow, This Vicious Grace, Jade City, Daisy Darker, and then we have Red Queen, Glass Sword, King's Cage, Sorcery of Thorns, A Winter's Promise, The Prison Healer and the Gilded Cage, Vow of Thieves, The Night and Its Moon, All of Us Villains, and then we have The Sky on Fire, the last one, Study in Drowning, Book of Night, Blade Breaker, Curious Tides, Ink Blood Sister Scribe, and Monsters Born and Made. Then, sorry you guys can't see, down here we have Lore, Realm Breaker, Bunny, The Secret History, Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers, Threadneedle, Belladonna, and When Women Were Dragons. We also have Juniper and Thorn, We Free the Stars, and We Hunt the Flame, and The Hurricane Wars, and then we also have Taming Seven, Just for the Summer, Tell Me Lies, From Luke Off with Love, Book Lovers, People We Meet on Vacation. And then over here we have Ace of Shades, A Darker Shade of Magic, the whole trilogy. And then we have Such Sharp Teeth, These Hollow Vows, Furyborn, Serpent and Dove, and Gods and Monsters, and To Kill a Kingdom. And up here, I don't know if you guys can really see, we have Swordcatcher, we have a second copy of Throne of Glass, so I'm not going to count that. And then Dragonfall, A Shadow Crown, and The Courage to Be Disliked. And then over here we have Legendary and Finale, which are the second and third books in the Caraval trilogy, which I don't know if I'm going to finish. Okay, so I believe I said that was 67 books, so that makes us at 198, which not great, but again, still better than last time. Then we have Saving and Redeeming 6 by Chloe Walsh, which takes us to an even 200. And then I'm not gonna show you guys over here because it'll be super overexposed because of the window. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more books over there. It is my actual TBR cart. I keep it right next to my desk. And that makes us at 210 with The Wicked King, The Man Who Died Twice, Masters of Death, The Striker, Where the Crawdads Sing, The Love Hypothesis, When the Moon Hatched, Dance of Thieves, The Bone Shard Daughter, The Creative Act, and Normal People. I'm actually like really proud that it's 210, which is disgusting to say because it is still an absurd amount of books to own that I haven't read, but somehow it's less than it was almost 2 years ago. Meanwhile, I've still been buying books this whole time, but I'm much more intentional with my book buying now, which I'm very proud to say. Okay, let's go back to our bedroom and we'll count those books. Also, this is completely unrelated, but I just want to show you how adorable my dog looks right now. Isn't he just the cutest? Okay, let's go back to my bedroom. Okay, I already know for a fact all of these books I have not read. This is a TBR shelf. This is primarily where I am picking my TBR from each month with my TBR jar. So I'm just gonna start counting and then we'll go through all of them once I'm done counting. Okay, we got to 120. Not horrible, not the best. So that has us at a solid 330. Again, oh my god. Oh my god, that's so many books. Okay, let's start going over them. We have Lessons in Chemistry, Ricochet, Daydream, It's in His Kiss, Love on the Brain, The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, Underlock, and Culty. Then behind that, we have Beautiful World, Where Are You, Conversations with Friends, The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, Persuasion, The Beautiful and the Damned, Jane Eyre, The Wife App, and Yellowface. And then we have Anxious People, New York, My Village, The House with the Golden Door, The Wolf Den, Portrait of a Thief, The Violence, You May Now Kill the Bride, Not So Perfect Strangers, If We Were Villains, And Then There Were None, and Before We Were Innocent. And then over here, we have A Not So Meet Cute, 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think, Leather and Lark, Pack Up the Moon, Emma, Cloud Cuckoo Land, A Man Called Ove, Night Road, The Song of Achilles, Eligible, Swear on This Life, She Who Became the Sun, and Vicious and Vengeful. And then we have Feybound, the Atlas 6 trilogy, A Day of Fallen Night, and The Priory of the Orange Tree, the Deadly Scholomance trilogy. We have Onyx Storm, the first two books in the Crescent City series in the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition paperbacks, A Court of Silver Flames, and then we have the new covers for the Throne of Glass series. And then we have Heavenbreaker, the Poppy War trilogy, Babel, Lightlark and Nightbane, Daughter of the Moon Goddess, and Heart of the Sun Warrior, A Fate Inked in Blood, The Courting of Bristol Keats, Legend Born and Bloodmarked, Ordinary Monsters, The Foxglove King, The Divine Rivals duology, The Final Strife and Battle Drum, and Five Broken Blades. And then we have the Shadow and Bone trilogy. We have the first and last books in the Cruel Prince trilogy, The King of Elfheim, the first two books in the Powerless series, A River Enchanted and A Fire Endless, For the Wolf and For the Throne, Crooked Kingdom, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands, the Shepherd King duology, Her Majesty's Royal Coven, Heartless, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, Game of Thrones, Fire and Blood, Project Hail Mary, The Bone Shard Emperor, and Defy the Night, These Infinite Threads, This Woven Kingdom, and Girl Serpent Thorn. And then up here we have the Addicted Calloway Sister series, Immortal Longings, the These Violent Delights duology, One for My Enemy, Defend the Dawn, Never, and Wicked. I'm not even gonna lie, that took a lot less time than I thought it was going to. And not only that, we've cut down my TBR by 200 odd books, a little over 200 books. And again, that's all been while I've been buying books throughout the years. But I do think I am much more intentional with my book buying and selective, because before I was just buying books to expand my collection and have like a huge library rather than buying a book because I really want to read it. Like before, I would just buy books if I had even the vague inclination to read it, if it just sounded good, if I heard good things about it. That was honestly a really big problem. I am a very easily influenced person, especially when it comes to books, and that does still occur, I'm not even gonna lie. I've bought multiple books because of specific creators, but I do still think I'm much more intentional with the way I buy books in a way that makes me happy. Like, I typically will only buy a book if I'm anticipating it, which is why you guys don't really see a lot of book hauls from me. In the next month, I'm probably going to be filming a collective book haul though, which will just be compiling all the books I've bought so far this year. Because I've bought like at least 10 books, but they've been so spaced out that I haven't been able to film just like a regular book haul. But yeah, I'm honestly really, really proud of this number, and I'm really happy that I was able to get it down so much. If you guys stayed until this point of the video, I cannot thank you enough. I appreciate each and every single one of your beautiful faces, and I hope you are all having an absolutely incredible morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.